Hello, this is Tom Dubik again, and we're going to be building a two-player Pong, and you should have finished building the first player Pong game before you start on the two-player Pong. You should have been able to not only get the paddle to move and the ball to move, you should be able to store a variable to a data, i.e. change score. Okay, and if not, go ahead and listen to the single Pong videos. All right, as we design a two-player Pong, we want to think about our design requirements. In this game, we're going to have the ball travel horizontally. We want the ball to bounce the opposing direction upon touching either paddle. Player misses the ball, the other player scores. So this is a not you against the computer or the random ball bouncing down. This is you against another player. Scores should be at the top of the screen. Optional features: a splash screen should appear announcing the start of the game. Ball goes faster over time. Difficulty settings. Magic ball adds to the score. And when we mean magic ball, suddenly the ball changes and not only the score goes up, or you add a second ball. Barriers come and go. Drop those in, and if it touches one of the barriers, it changes it as well. So we'd want a flow chart. Ball moves across the screen. Ball hits, paddle hits ball, ball bounces sideways. Ball hits missed zone, player scores. Or ball hits missed zone, player loses a ball. So you can do it a couple different ways in this. Paddle hits missed ball, ball disappears and reappears at the screen center. Okay? So we say ball hits missed zone, one player scores, other player loses a ball. So as it keeps, it's like any game, you have a set number, and every time you miss, it drops to the point you get to 0, and then you don't have any more. All right. What I would like you to go ahead and do before we go any further is to make these sprites. There's backgrounds on the sprite. You have a soccer ball, you have a left paddle, left missed, right missed. And they're just that. Here's the right paddle, here's the right missed, here's the left paddle, here's the left missed. Okay? So, first thing we've got to do is to move the right paddle up and down. Please add this code to your right paddle. Create your own code for the left paddle. Use the key and use the W and S keys for the left paddle. And again, just pause this video if you so you have time to do this. You're going to get a lot more out of the video if you indeed make the game. Code for each paddle should look like this. And I will just say again, it's really good if you make the game as we go along and you try to do it without just going ahead and looking at running the video forward and seeing how the code is and you repeat it. You're really not learning anything if you just copy my code. All you're doing is learning how to copy code. All right, now I want you to create the code to move the ball horizontally. Hint, think about what you did with the single player game, getting the ball to move vertically. You can even look at your old code if you like. So, for example, then, when the flag's clicked, point direction 90. You put it in a forever loop, it moves 10 steps, if on the edge, bounces. So the ball is now moving back and forth. Now let me ask you what this code does. Again, we have when flag click, point in direction 90. If touching right paddle, then point in direction -90 or to the left. Move 10 steps if on edge, bounce. If you said, hey, the right paddle is touching the ball, it causes the ball to go back to the left, you are correct. Now, create the code so the left paddle works. If you created both paddles, now both paddles hit the ball. Once we have that working, we've got a question. If the person, what happens when the person, neither paddle hits the ball and it hits the missed ball sections, be it the right missed ball or left missed ball? Well, one way we can do it is with an or statement. If touching left missed ball or touching right missed ball, notice that's green, so it's in the math operators. See the green? Okay. And then you're using 2 cents. If touching left missed ball, if touching right missed ball, hide. Then go to 040. So you're moving the ball over, wait a half second, and then show it. If you have it do it instantly, the ball just zips up there. This makes it look like the ball was reset. Now, in this case, either statement is true, this will happen. If we put an and, they'd have to hit both paddles at the same time, which would be about impossible, so you wouldn't put an and there. Or it gives you more choices and narrows the choices. Now, another way to the same approach is to do an if statement just for each sprite. So if right missed ball, hide, go to 040, wait a half second, show. If left missed ball, hide, go to 040, wait 5 seconds, show. What's the advantage of that? Well, it allows you to give more control over the game. It allows you to do better scoring. Okay, so now you can individually respond over who misses the ball. So let's say we start a game where you're going to have a score of 10-10. All right? And what we're going to do is every time the player misses the ball, their score goes down by a point. All right? So then what we're going to do next then is go down by a point. So if you touch right missed ball, you're going to change right paddle score by -1. It hides, goes to score, and back down. So right up there, set right paddle score to 10. Change it by -1, and it goes down. And it keeps repeating over and over again. All right? Can you go ahead and do that for the left paddle for me? Now, we can also do something here to actually cause the score to speed up. And we make a ball speed. So in that case, we set the ball speed to 5. And if you touch the right paddle, it increases the ball speed by 1, as if the left ball speed, both 1 and 1. All right? And notice down here your move has changed the ball speed as well. So that's what you're going to do, and the game will slowly keep increasing back and forth. Now, as a programmer, you can have a little fun with this and make your own little modification. If you're the player on the right paddle and you press the speed, you can get the ball speed to slow down by 5. So that might be a little fun to your opponents. Like, oh, the speed of the ball changes. All right? So, you know, that's another neat thing you can do. All right? So you can hold while or another way to do it, even make it better for you, you could make it so if you're playing on the left side, when they're busy moving their paddle back and forth, you hold down the space bar and it'll slow down as it comes your way. So there's a couple different ways that would give you an advantage. But notice, in this case, what we're really trying to show you is the and statement versus the or. In this case, both the space bar has to be pressed and the touching has to be pressed. The next thing we're going to talk about is you're going to create another sprite, and in the sprite it's going to be lets the games begin. It's going to be a splash sprite. We'll go back into create a new sprite, and we're going to make it text. Okay? So, and you can just change the font. If you go under text at the bottom left, it'll show you how to change the font on this screen. And so when you use this broadcast command, what you're going to do is you're going to say, hey, point in this direction broadcast games begins, and then it says wait 2 seconds. Well, what's going over is that lets the games begin sprite. It says when I receive games begin, I'm going to show myself for 1.5 seconds, then I'm going to hide. So you get that really good effect of let the games begin. So when it runs, okay, remember this is going to be the let's games begin sprite. The ball sprite is going to call it. It's going to broadcast it. All right, to make your game unique, add a game over screen that flashes when you have lost. Increase the difficulty of game. Change the size of the paddle during the game. Add multiple balls. Add multiple dead zones. One thing you could do, instead of just simply have it which player gets to 0 last, have when their paddle hits the ball, they get a point, and when their paddle misses it, they lose a ball. And then so you'll actually have a score when the first person reduces off that. Okay? So what skills you're going to need to improve this? You need to know how to use variables, if statements, loops, broadcasting, using operators, adding stage and sprites, being organized, being creative, spend some time writing out before you get rolling on it.